Yeah, I'm here from Cape Cod for the Mashpee Wampanoag Tribe. All my family are there. I've been there, off and on for going on 64 years. My birthday's in 2 weeks. Cancer free. Just got through cancer. This is actually my last week on chemotherapy. I'm cancer free. I don't have to see my doctor for 3 months. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for having me. And the team is amazing. We got lost. I don't know. Well, we found our way finally. So I am James Baird Award 2023, 2024. I just gave it up. I'm not even sure who got it this year. I should be, but I'm just crazy busy. Crazy busy. I'm also Connecticut 2024 Woman of the Year. So, yeah, it's been real fun, been exciting. I have a restaurant in Connecticut in Preston, and I've been in all kinds of things since I've gotten that James Beard Award. Lots of advertisement. My latest is I'm in National Geographic, which is Indigenous, which is really cool. I meant to bring the book in for you guys to see, but it's in the July issue of Indigenous people. It's a specialty um, book, and I was real surprised. And but I grew up in the '60s. I grew up in the '60s. Both my parents are Wampanoag, and our lifeways was real important. We're seasonal people. We eat by the season. When we there were six of us children, and more. I mean, my parents were always taking in more people, more kids, cousins or whomever. But I had a really amazing childhood. As I know now, I thought it was so rough, but honestly, my dad and mom made sure that we knew how to forage, hunt, fish, made sure we knew about the seasons because we're seasoned people. So, and our new year starts in April, the end of March, when the birds come back from the south, the fish come back from the north, and our first fish are herring. Does anybody know about herring here? The herring, the fish, they come from Nova Scotia and they run into the Atlantic and then come up the rivers, and they spawned in our ponds on Cape Cod. And I grew up, that was the first fish I learned about. I could have been probably 3 or 4 years old. But it's the best time of the year. I mean, our first greens are fiddlehead ferns and wild ramps, and we had to learn about all of those things, and to make sure that if we need be, we had to be able to take care of ourselves by identifying medicine. And I mean, we were real little. My father shipped us on a my first I'll tell you, my first encounter with nature was my dad shipped us over on an island called Washburn Island. It was he took us on his boat, and it was a teeny little island, and gave us some matches, some fishing string, a pot, and let us. I think I was 8, and let us fend for ourselves to see what we could do after teaching us all these things. And so that was challenging, because I was afraid of the dark. But you know what? It was full moon, so there wasn't really dark at all, and especially out when you're out in the bay. And it was beautiful. And the first thing, it was blueberry season, so the first thing I did was pick all the blueberries, and I went clamming. And we knew how to dig clams and quahogs. There was an abundance, and mussels, abundance of food. So I learned well. I definitely learned well. So I try to teach my children the same. And then, we tried to learn about all the medicinal medicines and things in case, anything could happen if you got a cut, or if you got sick, or if you had a stomach ache, anything out in that woods, I know. I know what to find. But so growing up, about 8, I probably got my first Susie Homemaker. I was going to say Easy Bake Oven. They didn't have them then. It was a Susie Homemaker. I knew then, you know, that I was going to be a chef and wanted to be a chef. I stole everything out of the refrigerator, cooked it in that little Susie Homemaker, and fed it to my brothers. They ate every bit. So yeah, yeah, it was a fun time. It was a fun time. We had chickens, we had pigs, we had cows, we had a potato farm that wasn't fun. But just learning all those things at a very early age, um, picking blueberries, picking strawberries, picking raspberries, digging for sassafras, just all of, and you can still do that now, except for the wild strawberries. They don't really have very many. You know, when you stop doing something, when you stop picking those berries and those huckleberries and those kinds of things, sometimes they'll go dormant. You know, like I used to go to these certain blueberry spots. Right now, they're roads. So I have a restaurant with my family in Connecticut, in Preston, and it's called Sly Fox Den. We bought it in 2019. However, it's not open yet. We bought it in 2019, and it's at the old Brookside Cafe, if anybody knows that area. And it was an old place where the boats used to come in. It's an old brick building. It's a beautiful building. The the boats used to come in off of the so this is one thing that sometimes I forget stuff because of the chemo, but it'll come to me in a minute. Anyways, it was a building that used to fix the old steamships. So, but it's a beautiful building, and I'm keeping it just like, but trying to get it restored is kind of hard. So we brought it in 2019, did a lot of fixing up, and then, of course, everyone knows the pandemic came and shut down the world. So we ended up with another little place, and I'm thinking that this place is gonna create revenue because we're caterers. So, you know, we lost all our catering business, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna pay the loan for this new building? And decided to get this little restaurant. It's only 30 seats inside, but in the summertime it's 30 more. We sell indigenous food. We sell deer meat, quail, rabbit, and all kinds of fish. We do breakfast and we do lunch, and then we do have dinner on Friday and Saturday night, and lots of specials. So we brought this place thinking that, you know, this is going to make enough money for to get the restaurant going. And 3 years later, no, this is the fourth summer actually. We still don't have enough money for it, but we're working on it. We're determined to get that place open, and we also have a cultural center that's going with that place, and it's like an outside living museum with native people in regalia and traditional clothing, telling history of indigenous people, you know, in the whole northeast and coastal people. And we'll do some burnout canoes. We'll do some. We'll have an outside kitchen, and we'll have a nushwitu. A nushwitu is it's a house with two fire. That's what it means. It's like a wigwam. So it's a witu, nushwitu, house with two fires. So that's the plans for that place. And then across the street, it's 3.5 acres. It's a beautiful building. And then across the street is 2.5 acres, which we plan to do a farm, you know, garden. So farm to table is our dream. It's our hope and dream, right? It'll get there. Just like this little place came out of nowhere, and then 3 years later, I get nominated. Or 2 years later, 2.5 years later, I'm nominated, and I'm like, what the heck is the James Beard Award? I didn't even know really what it was, and then I get in the finals, and they said, oh, you got to go to Chicago. I've never been to Chicago, and it's formal. That means a gown. That means a gown, black tie, and all that. The red carpet. It really that. It really is. So I wore my traditional regalia. That would be the highest, you know, formal thing that I could wear. So, and they really enjoyed that. They enjoyed it. And I didn't think I was going to win. And when my category came up, I mean, I was really sick. I had cancer. After chemotherapy, then cancer. What more? If I can take all that, it's coming. That restaurant is coming. But, you know, living in Connecticut, I've been off and on living in Connecticut since I was 16. I love Connecticut, and I used to live in Hartford with my best friend. And when I was about 16, I used to visit her um, for the summer. Instead of I actually met her when she was younger, and she actually came to Mashpee. Her parents vacationed there, so met her there, and we just became best friends. And I ended up going to her place to go to school because I wanted to get away from the woods, get away from Mashpee. And she lived in Bloomfield, which was a nice place, you know. Right down the street was I got a job at Casual Corner and went to school there. Yeah, I had some fun. I did have some fun, but always knew I always know my life ways. And then, you know, I love to teach. I love to teach people our life ways because I need to educate everybody. That a lot of people think that there's no East Coast Indians. We're here. We've been here for over 12,000 years. We're not going anywhere. I got grandchildren now, and we have our annual powwow coming up on Cape Cod. It's July 5th, 6th, and 7th. And if anybody is on Cape that weekend, come on. It's in Mashpee. It's open to the public. It's a beautiful thing. And the food, I'm there. But my line's a hour and a half long. Yeah, but people waiting them because we have all the traditional food. We have lots of smoked fish. We have smoked bluefish and smoked salmon, and we have the same at the restaurant. And people say, "Who eats fish in the morning?" Well, my mother had 6 kids, and when we would have fish at night, we had leftovers. She's always boiled potatoes, always have leftover potatoes and leftover fish. She always used to say, "We do one extra in case we have company." So when we didn't have company, she took those extras, those leftovers, and made fish hash. Cut up some onions, threw it in there, and that's what's in the Smithsonian, National Geographic. I mean, um, so fish, potatoes, onions. That's it. Fry it up, boil up some eggs. You know, poached eggs on top. We have that at the restaurant. You got to come and try it. If you like fish, smoked fish. But we also have lots. And right now, we don't. We have lots of fish, and we do shellfish and crabs and all that different kind of thing. It's called Sly Fox Den. You can just Google it. You can Google me. That tickles me. You can Google me. It does. I'm very humble. I'm grateful. I'm getting all teary eyed. Bear with me. So, I just finished this last battle of cancer. Um, I'll do this part, okay? And that goes with her, the cream cheese, sour cream. Give that to Shy. See, they can't do nothing without me. No, I'm just joking. My kids are amazing. They cook sometimes better than me. They really think they cook better than me, but some things maybe. Um, yeah, I'm a little emotional about being cancer free because I didn't think I was going to make it. So I'm going to live to see my new restaurant open. And it's big. And I'm going to have a lot of people supported me, people that I didn't know. It was my support system that kept me, that seen me through it, that made me survive it. Anyway, anybody have any questions for now? So I worked at the Pequot Museum for about 5 years. Anybody in here know Jason Mancini? What a wonderful man, right? Yeah. I worked for him for a while. They have this amazing museum. If anybody hasn't been there, you've got to go. Um, but in their 250 seat cafe, they were serving hamburgers and hot dogs and you know chicken. Well, Native people didn't have hamburgers. We didn't have no cows, no pigs or chickens, but we did have duck. We had all kinds of birds. Just didn't have chickens, and definitely no cows or no pigs. So we put deer meat in there. We put venison in there. We put smoked fish in there. We put turtle soup in there sometime. And I love turtle soup. It's my favorite. We sell it at the powwow. And powwow is a Native American festival that you go and you can watch people dance and you can learn about the different types of dance. You can see different artwork and purchase different artwork if you want. And the food. And Mashpee is known for food. We're in big competition because if James Beard seen all the other cooks in Mashpee, maybe I wouldn't be that. You know, there is another my cousin who's amazing, but I'm gonna keep it quiet. So, you know, but I enjoy my life. I have 7 grandchildren. I have 3 kids. I have my son is 40. He lives in Florida. He has a wife. She's an attorney, and he is a OR nurse. And that's my business partner, Miss Cheyenne, and my daughter. I had to say that.
I'm the youngest one.
She's the
It looks
youngest.
so blue up here. Sorry.
Yeah. But I live a great life, and I just want to teach people our ways and teach them that instead of making that grass green, plant some food because that grass that you want green is poison. Unless you have an organic matter, that poison that leaks into our water and our water systems, and our water is bad. The water is sick and it's poison, and I really believe that if we all do our own part, that we can fix it. We can fix it. And we can start there by not putting fertilizer and unless it's organic and stuff like that on your grass. That's it. That's kind of it for now. We're gonna have some volunteers um, to do a corn cake demonstration. Come on up. Come on up. Let's see what I got here. So we're gonna make corn cakes, and let me tell you the story about corn cakes. There, you ever heard of Rhode Island Johnny cakes? Well, it's a native thing. It's an indigenous thing, honestly. Um, First, I'll tell you where the corn came from. It came from the crow, the bird. So these parents and this child, a brother and a sister, they were just coming out of the ice age, just coming out, and they were eating berries and nuts. And these the family went fishing. They were a fishing family, and the 2 kids were supposed to be watching the fire. And with us indigenous people, we always look out for animals. We give them offerings, they give us offerings. So these 2 little kids was wishing for something other than dry nuts and dry berries. And so Kikonkia is the crow, a bird. He was listening to them. And Kakonkia took off and he flew way past Washington, D.C., past Florida, past Disney, way down south. He ended up um, meeting his friend. You know what I need? I need some oil. So he flew way. Where are the birds that are from Peru? Because that's where he flew to. He flew to Peru, way south, and then he the what's that bird's name? It's toucan, and the toucan gave him these magic seeds, and those magic seeds he brought him back, flew fast as he could, and these kids was sitting by the fireplace, and this bird comes and drops a bundle, and in that bundle, the bundle fell into the fire. And with all of our seeds, our seeds are living things because they grow and they talk and they need water and they need food like us. So they're considered a living thing, a living creature, a living animal. So they threw the bag, and some of them fell in. The seeds fell out and into the fire pit, and they started talking, saying, "Oh my God, I'm hot. I'm getting hotter. I'm getting hotter, and I'm about to pop." So that's where popcorn came from. Corn. So the corn seeds came from toucan and macaw. Macaw, that's where it came from. That chemo sometimes got my brain. But we do praise the birds and all the living things, two-winged, you know, um, four-legged, two-legged, all of that good stuff. So do I have another volunteer? How about you? Come on up. Both of you. All right, you're going to stay on this side, and you guys are going to come over on this side. I'm going to make something called Johnny cakes. But the real name for Johnny cake is a journey cake. And the reason why they call it journey cake, I'll give you this so you can. And we're going to make some chutney, some strawberry and cranberry chutney. I'm from the Cape, so I got to include cranberries. I'll take these over there. Yep. And this is for you. Some very informal. All right. Let me just rinse my hands. Can I have a glass of water? You're whispering in the mic. Oh. Because of them chemo drugs, my mouth gets real dry. So, long time ago, when people that on the coast, they stayed on the coast for the summertime. They had, the Nushwetus and the Wetus, and the cover was bulrush. They used bulrush, or mats. They made mats out of bulrush. And then in the winter they went inland. And when they went inland, we took corn and pounded it and then added water to it, and so they can carry it in their pitonk, in their pouch, pitonk. So they carried it, and that's how it got the name Journey Cakes. And then somebody from Rhode Island started calling it Johnny Cakes, but it's a native thing. All right, So, that's your story about your
That's it.
Johnny cakes. So we're gonna just try some. You guys are gonna make Johnny cakes. You're gonna split half and half of each thing in each bowl, okay? That can't be too hard. And you're gonna make the chutney. Did you hear my instructions? Can I have another volunteer? No, I'm just joking. Half and half.
I just didn't know how.
Half and half. No. You see, I don't have no measuring spoons.
Yeah, I don't need use me either.
So we're gonna wash these off. So with any anything that you buy from the store, I can't. I'm weak. We're gonna wash it off real good. Normally, what I do is I let it soak in water with a little vinegar. Dump them right in there. And let's just do one because I might want to just eat them. Yeah, I think one will be fine. And then we have cranberries. All we're gonna do is just put them right in there. I love teaching. I love teaching what you don't know. I just love it. But anybody, this recipe is on my website, I think. It's everywhere. So a little salt, like a teaspoon of salt in your hand, a little bit in there. Do I have pepper?
No, I was looking for some. There's the whole pepper, but it's not. I can crack it.
No. It's fine. It's fine. Can I have a little more salt? You want really to kind of. See, and salt preserves. So that's why it kind of. Put it all in there. And now a little bit of that. Now you're going to cut those strawberries up. You know how to cut a strawberry, right?
I do.
Can you cook?
I can.
I love it when somebody can cook. Beautiful. You're a chef?
Yep.
What? What's your name?
Kristen.
Kristen. What's your name?
Melanie.
Melanie. My daughter-in-law is Melanie, and I love her so much. Yes. Yeah. And your name? Esther. Yeah. Nope, you can just cut them right in half. I'm going to put them right in there. Let's put some flavor in here.
Oh, now that's not a teaspoon.
I bet it is. All right. So now you're just going to put water. I'll get some water for you. I'm real easy. I would start with like a cup of water. That's about a cup for you and a cup for her. That's a half a cup. I'm teasing. I'd love to tease. My father teased the crap out of me. So that's like in our family, and I'm sure you guys are going to need some more. So yeah, you can use your hands. It's best. I love to do it with my hands. Sometimes I'll put cranberries in there. And at the restaurant, we put cranberries and scallion, green onion, if you need a little bit. See, she took all the water. And depending how thick you want it, is, you know. Mm-hmm. I'll give you a little bit more. There you go. You can have the rest of that in there. I'm a good teacher, right? Cranberries. So simple.
How much would you like?
Open that. Let's see. Yeah, probably. Oh, does this work? Nope. Does it need to be on? Does it need to be? I don't mess with gas.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see if there's a lighter. So you must be the chef here. Yeah, please. Let's see. I don't even hear gas though when we turn it on. So it's all right. It's all right. No worries. Listen, this is not my fault. Just so you know. We good?
Hear it. I don't think it's on. We can try it.
Yeah, you can try to do.
You don't like
No, I'm weak. I'm weak from this daggone chemotherapy. There's no gas.
No, there's no gas here.
You would hear it. That's a
No,
big,
I
nice
don't hear
stove.
it at all.
All right. So there's no gas. There's no gas, Shy. Is there a thing that says you can turn it on right there?
Well, the pilot's not on. It just tells you which way to turn.
It says pilot, do not touch right there.
Yeah, but it's not on.
Turn it on. Try it now. I don't even hear it. Shy. Back up, sis.
Sometimes when you push it in,
Backing up. Let's see how much we got. There's a stove in the back. We'll be right back.
yeah, I was gonna say I can.
Well, you guys can start over there, I think. Let's start with. Oops.
I don't want to keep messing with this. I don't know if it's gas.
A little more. You want it like a thick pancake, okay? Yep.
So can I put it back in the center? You want more cranberry?
Yeah, put it back how it was.
Do you want more cranberry in here?
I think that's beautiful.
How much sugar would you like? Half of that or all of that?
Probably half. Yep. So what we're making, you guys are gonna have right over there. We have chutney, which is made out of cranberries and strawberries, and it goes on the corn cake. We're gonna go in the back and cook them, and then what is so funny? She's cracking up over here. Let's go, girls. You made a mess. See that?
I always mess up when I cook it. Yeah.
So we finally got this going, thanks to my friend here. And we're cooking down on some cranberries and strawberries and a little sugar. We're making a chutney. The chutney that you guys are eating, I don't know, I hope that you guys got some of the chutney that's over there with the corn cakes. You're welcome to come around if you want pictures. So we make this every week at the restaurant. And we serve corn cakes. It's your choice, one of your choice of bread. And people really love it. People really, because it's different. So when I was about 40, I created a program for the youth to teach them the same things that my parents taught. Because, as we all know, at this day and time, everybody's working 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet. Where I come from, anyway. So we did something, they called it the culture class. So whoever wanted to come can come and learn about seasonality, living by the season, eating by the season. And what we did first was we started in March and April at the New Year, and they learned about the New Year. And the first thing that we did is hands-on, we made herring nets. We took, that's done. Yeah, it smells good. Yep, it smells good. And now we're going to get these girls started. Why'd you turn that off? Can you turn it back on? This is frisky. Oh, good. So we're going to let this heat up and you're going to cook them just like a pancake. Okay? Do we have a spatula? Spatula in the house. Let's see. All right. I think we have more food, so go back seconds if you want, because there's a spatula right over there at the end. We can borrow it. No, I'm good. I'm good. So I taught them how to make a herring net, and we used willow. So we took a Y branch with a long stick at the bottom. We just tied them to make a circle, tied it around, and then what? They each had their own individual nets, and I just you just tie it in knots until you come all the way down to the bottom, and you make a dip net. And then we taught them about the heron and about how they come back, right, every year, and why they come back. And they love it. They love it because we got to go to the herring run. We got to jump in the water. They got to jump in the water and scoop the heron with the nets or help them over the fishing ladder into the pond. And they learned how to identify male from female. They learned how to cook the roe and clean the fish. And we don't waste anything. We took the roe out and we ate the roe. It's my favorite. My all-time favorite is herring roe. And we took the head, the guts, and the tail, and we threw it in the garden. We had a garden. That's when you start your garden. So you dig a hole and dump your fish matter in there, and then you'll be ready for right now. A couple weeks ago, but so it was fun. It was a good learning experience, and they taught, we did a medicine. We did a medicine chart of Western medicine and Indigenous medicine, and that was fun because we got to go out in the woods. And we dug sassafras. We collected all kinds of good stuff, briars, running briars, which are the purple briars in the woods, and they're good for a stomach ache. They're good for constipation and all that good stuff. Sassafras. We love sassafras. We used to get kicked out of our house when we were little. We used to go and pick sassafras, eat the leaves. We thought they were good for us. Little did we know they were. Good blood cleanser. It really is. So they have it so that in Connecticut we can't serve it because they say has cancer. It has, they tried it. They injected rats. We've been using this medicine for over 12,000 years. And is it nice and hot? All right, put a little oil in there.
Is that a little for you or more?
I said a little. Take this oil from her. It's fine. Yep, we just want to get it all over the pan. And you guys each put a little on this side and a little on that side. Take a spoon. No copying. Bring your bowl right over so you don't spill it. Yep, that looks good. Yep. Just drop it in. No, it's fine. Yep. Yep. Beautiful. All right. One more each. Beautiful. And they just take a few minutes. You guys like these? What we gave you, it had cranberry, dry cranberry, it had whole kernel corn, and it had green onion. That's how we serve it at the restaurant. This is the way they made it when I was little, and they served it with something called potato bargain. Yeah, just potatoes boiled with some onions. And if I was lucky, I got a hot dog in it or some fish. But my worst. But now, different story. But I won't serve it to my kids. I never served that to my kids. No, does anyone have any questions? Yes, ma'am. Ooh, just really plain with a beach plums. If you get them at the right time, they're really sweet on their own. Like you got to get them, even if you can get them after the frost. Sometimes they hold if you put a net over your plums so the birds don't get them, and get them after the frost. That's when they're really sweet, and we make them just like this, just like that. Delicious. Yeah, delicious. I did a lot of stuff with my grandmother too. She's taught us a lot. I had to go up there and earn my keep. So I had to roll her hair. I was probably 15. I had to hang out her clothes. And of course, we went fishing. And I had to clean all the fish. And then we had to, she taught me how to pickle the fish. Like the backs, like if we take the roe out, the head, the stomach, and the tail go in the compost. And then the backs she put in right into jars. Didn't clean them or anything. She put them right. She was my favorite though. But then even if it was winter time, we had to hang out clothes. Clothes could be coming in like that. Didn't matter. I don't even see clotheslines anymore. No. What do you guys think? I think you better wait. When the edges get a little brown. This one here is missing a little oil. Unfortunately, I love butter, so I cook with a lot of butter. My favorite chef is Erin French. Does anybody know her? She is my favorite. We're kind of a lot alike. Yeah, we kind of some of my menu, I have to see what they have at the farmers market. I have to see what's available, and that's how we do our specials. Whatever's available at the farmers market, or you know whoever's got deer or rabbits. We do stewed rabbit with root vegetables. Just roast it. My gosh. Whoops. I'm cooked over here. I'm cooking a little bit slow, but growing up with my grandmother, she had 15 kids. And all of her kids had 6 or more. I'm one of 6. And I had a great childhood. We all went blueberry picking at the same time. It was like a race for everything. When we would ride by each other in a car, we would say, "Junk it," and they would say, "Junk it." We both had junky cars, but we were a great family. It's not like that anymore. People don't have time for. I think it's coming back though, but I think people have lost the family part. Like your whole family, like your relatives. They used to be cookouts when I was little. Oh my God, and the food. There would be 10 of these, and who has the best? You know, it could be baked beans. That's a big one. Boston baked beans. She makes some good ones, but poor him. I think you should flip him. Yeah, me. This was the only good thing about the potato bargain that I liked. And my mother didn't skimp with us. We ate. I have cards up here if anybody's interested. We really do a lot of catering. I promise I won't be late. I have three. I have a son that's 40. How old's your brother? How old's Jamal? 40? She's 30. Are you 30? You are not. He is not. I keep them at 40. She's 30. But I have great kids. I'm lucky. I am extremely lucky. They all know how to cook. So if I don't want to eat cook, guess where I'm going? Yeah, but we all love to cook. It's like a whole challenge, a whole competition with our family in Mashpee. These ladies are pretty good over here too. Give that a couple minutes. Mmm. So will you make these at home? Don't feed them to your chickens. You got chickens? I bet you do. My daughter. Cows, sheep, goats, chickens. She got 5 kids. I love them. They're beautiful. She has a little boy that's 4 months. But another thing growing up, my God, is doing clam bakes with my dad. So we did they call it old fashioned, but it's, a real traditional clam bake is with rocks. You don't dig a hole, just rocks on top of the earth. And then you burn them until the rocks are like white hot. And then, what do you think? Looks good. Mmm. Well, you can take them off and put the rest in. Maybe we can cut them up and share them. We can put some chutney on them. So we burned the rocks till they were white hot, and then the most fun part was going to get the rockweed. Everybody knows what rockweed is, seaweed, right? So we would go and get the piles, bales, like probably 7 or 8, depends on how many. I used to do them with him for a lot when I was a child. So in the water, they were heavy, getting all the seaweed in, the burlap bags. Probably 8 of those for like a clam bake for 50 people. When those rocks got white hot, we threw all the lobsters, clams, anything that we had on there, all the vegetables. White potato, sweet potato. We did linguiça, a hot dog, an onion. What else, Shy? For a clam bake. Oh, sweet potato. Yeah. And sometimes like rock crabs or blue crabs. Brown bread. Who likes brown bread? Mmm. Most people grew up with brown bread that are my age. But young kids don't even know what it is. So that and a clam bake. Oh my God. My favorite. When we once in a while, I make beans at work. I make the best beans, and having those beans, and people just get them on the side, full of salt pork. So bad for you now. But I mean, they were full of salt pork when I was little. But the pigs were different. They were more healthy, I think. The grain that they have now, I don't know. Things are just different. I'm going to be 64, so that's probably 50 years ago, 54 years ago. When I was about 10 is when we had all these animals. And they used to slaughter the chickens, and I hated that. I had a pet goat, and his name was Buster, because he would bust you in the head. He would bust you with his little horns. But it was fun growing up. We had our beautiful lake that we grew up in. Now my grandchildren can't swim in that lake anymore because of all the nitrates and runoff, and it's just happening all over the place. So wherever you live, oh, go ahead. She's flipping the pan. Nice. It's just saddens me, the water situation, you know. So when people buy these balloons and they let their balloons go for remembrance of somebody in heaven, and they ended up in water around a turtle's neck, or it's awful. So keep that in mind. That's like doing our part and educating people about it. You know, look at the camera. She's so cute. You're doing so good. I am looking for help. And but that's in Rhode Island. My restaurant is in Rhode Island, the little one that's open. But come on over. Come on over. Any other questions? 'Cause I can keep going. Yes.
What is for your the farm part of your dream restaurant, farm to table? What are the things that you hope to grow? Like, can you paint a vision of the farm?
Yes. So recently, we put a whole bunch of things in. I didn't have sassafras, so we put sassafras in the shady area. We put raspberries, black raspberries, strawberries, huckleberries. It already had elderberry, and I didn't even know it. So they added to it. And these are all wild berries. We put beach plums, blueberries, and I have a lot more. I have a friend. Does anyone know Russ Cohen? He is a magnificent guy. I mean, what do you call them? Ethnobotany. He's amazing, and he came. I'm so lucky. He came and helped, and I still have plants at my house that I got to get in. He brought extra, like 100 extra plants, and they're all wild. They're all, and they're growing fine right out because of all the rain that we've had. Um, and all these plants, I'm hoping to get enough beach plums to bring these beach plums back, because I don't see a lot on the Cape anymore, and they used to be really loaded. And some people don't even know what a beach plum is. Everyone knows here, right? What a beach plum is? You don't know what a beach plum is? It's a tiny little, about the size of maybe a quarter if you're lucky. Maybe a nickel. Nice and plump. A baby plum right on the beaches. Yeah. That's where I've known them to grow, on the Cape anyway. Yeah. My grandmother made jelly. She used to make us peel apples and for Thanksgiving for her apple pies. She had the famous apple pies. We had to peel 100 bushels of apples. Don't forget, 15 kids. We all got together in shifts in her little house. It wasn't that little, but a family at a time, I think. And she had us all peeling apples. She made us save the core and save the peelings, and she would help. She would help me. She would have me help her make apple jelly with it. Didn't waste anything. Thank you. I need that water. Mm. She's offering fiddleheads. Has everybody tried fiddleheads here? Oh, yummy. They taste they're of the asparagus family, right? And they kind of taste like asparagus. I love them in turtle soup. And we have them at powwow time. We put them in our turtle soup. Yummy, yummy. Yep. Any other questions? Oh, yes, sir. Snapping turtles. Yeah. Roadkill too. Now you can't. Now you can't. They're too hard to clean. My dad used to clean them. I don't know how he used to do it. My dad died in '99, but this guy, he was amazing. He showed us everything. My brothers, and I have a brother that's just like him. He fought for Aboriginal hunting and fishing rights, and it took him 30 years to make the government give us our. It was a treaty for land, I believe, and that we would always be able to hunt and fish and get to the water. There were always these ancient ways that we should be able to get to the water. And now there are big, giant houses, and they don't want you. They have fences. People don't want you to go through, but we do have rights. So, and we don't overtake. We don't overtake, and that's the problem. People overtake. So we only need enough for consumption, and that's not that much. So you girls are good. Anybody want to try their journey cake? Why don't you cut them up? I'm a little dry. My birthday's July 16th. Oh my. Wow. Mhm. Long time ago. Long time ago. I used to have long, long black hair. 2 years ago. I had got cancer. Phew, less than you. But look, unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's all curly. It's driving me crazy. It really is. But growing up on Cape Cod, it was always something to do, always something to harvest. Even here in Connecticut is beautiful. Lots of woods. You guys have fiddleheads, and we don't have a lot on Cape Cod. We have some, but we don't have a lot. She's never been fiddlehead picking, have you?
They're good though. I just actually tried them recently for the first time.
Yeah. Blueberry picking was my favorite. Because my mother could make a blueberry pie. Oh my goodness. I'm not great at crust. She is. My other daughter is. I'm not. I make them do it. They just gotta make me the dough ball. I always do too much to it. I'm always in a hurry. That's why they say just use a fork. Just use a fork. The key is not to handle it, right? These girls are doing so good. It's all right. So, who loves to cook? Nice. You love to cook. What's your favorite thing to cook? Oh yeah, that. Mm. Ooh. What is the best thing from your childhood that you love to cook?
The grilled cheese. Pancakes. That was the first thing I was able to make. Grilled cheese, pancakes.
Ooh. What did you use in place of sugar? Honey. Honey and maple syrup, right? Maple sugar. Yeah, there's a lot of that in Connecticut. I'm hoping to harvest at the other restaurant, the big restaurant across the street. There's some nice maples over there. Listen, she's really something. They have amazing things. We're going to have to do some bartering. I believe in the barter system. I love it. I love it. I barter for flowers for my table. And the lady loves our food, so she comes to eat. She brings her friends, but she brings us beautiful flowers from her garden once a week. Yep. Then in the winter time, my dad used to go eeling. Anybody ever eat eels? Oh my God, they're so good. So we used to make them all kinds of ways. And just watching my dad clean them. You ever seen anybody clean an eel? So they did you have to use pliers? Pull the skin off, yeah. And they used to. Did you have an eel spear to get to harvest? Oh, wow. They were plentiful. They're not that. There's no more eelgrass. There's no more eelgrass because of the Phragmite. Phragmite came from China or somewhere, Asia or something. It's that purple flower you see in marshes when you're driving along the highway saying, oh, that's pretty. Oh, it's damaging to our waters and our good stuff, our indigenous plants and weeds. Phragmite is one of the beautiful dangers. But my dad used to have this long, probably 10-foot long pole with a spear at the end of it that looks like a devil's head, like, and take it and spear it in the cut a hole in the ice and take it and spear it into the mud and pull them up. And he used to come home with buckets, buckets of eels, and sit there with his buddies and peel them all night. So you can fry them. The best way, my mother used to just bake them, just like a piece of scrod. Just bake it, just a little salt, pepper, and garlic, and nothing else because they're very oily, like bluefish. And yeah, yummy. Yes, yes, very delicious. Have you ever? You like sushi? You know, the sushi, they have the eels. They can get eels. How come they can get eels? We can't. That's something. Thank you.
Very nice.
Very nice. Think so?
You're done. And that's cooking with Chef Sherry.
Anybody else have anything else? You guys come to the